Trans man in women-only jail. Thug who killed grandmother in row over 5 pounds and a cigarette as a teenage girl, 16, is now living as a trans man in a female prison. Now it is understood the 32-year-old is living as a trans man named Kobe in Scotland's women-only jail HMP Stirling, where Early is being kept in the admission hall. The Daily Record reports. She brutally killed the grandmother after knocking her to the ground and repeatedly stamping on her head in Cross Hill, 5. Nicole Early, who killed a grandmother in a row over 5 pounds and cigarettes as teenage girl, is now living as a trans man in a women-only jail. It is understood the 32-year-old is living as a trans man named Kobe in Scotland's women-only jail at HMP Stirling, where Early is being kept in the admission hall. The Scottish Prison Service SPS published its policy for the management of transgender people in custody in 2023. In the document, it states transgender men held in women prisons who have been convicted of any offences that perpetrate violence against a female that results in physical, sexual, or psychological harm or suffering to a female, such as murder, may be kept separate from any other person in prison until SPS has been able to assess their risk and vulnerability. Mail Online has contacted SPS for comment. Mrs. Gray died as a result of a head injury after she was knocked to the ground and repeatedly stamped on. The grandmother also suffered a fractured jaw and broken cheekbone along with a fractured bone in her upper neck in 2016. Solicitors told Stirling Sheriff Court that memories of what she called this incident were harming Early's mental health. The convicted killer was being hauled before the court for sentencing after pleading guilty to hurling a dinner plate at a fellow inmate at Women's Jail Cornton Vale, near Stirling, and raining her with punches. Sheriff William Wood sentenced her to another 6 months in prison, and though he ordered it to be served concurrently with her present sentence, he warned her that it could delay her eventual freedom. He said, "No doubt it will have an effect on the parole board, when they say you'll be released." But Early's solicitor Danielle Varela said her release date was presently set at 2025, but before she assaulted fellow prisoner Pauline Sleeman, she was being moved forward for a parole hearing in 2021. Miss Varela explained, she has been told recently, however, that's on hold while her mental health issues are dealt with. There has been a deterioration since she has been in custody. She has been having flashbacks in relation to this 2008 incident. There has been discussion of PSTD, post-traumatic stress disorder, but I'm told there's no diagnosis made at this stage. She added that her client had thrown the regular-sized circular plastic plate and followed it up with punches because her fellow inmate had been calling her names. Meanwhile, Adrian Fraser, prosecuting, said Early was found punching the inmate on the floor in the dining hall by a pantry officer who heard a commotion. He pulled her off, and the fellow prisoner suffered a red ear, due to punches. Early pleaded guilty to assault. Early was given an additional 18-month sentence in 2013 after she sent letters from her cell in Cornton Vale covered in blood and scrawled with swastikas, threatening to kill and cannibalize a local solicitor and send his face to a mask factory, adding that Sheriff Robertson could join him. Parts of the letters read, "Do you have fears of getting tortured or having your family members taken away? That's what will happen. Are you a fan of Hannibal? I will rip you apart and eat you. If I wasn't locked up, I would have taken you away in the back of a van and just watched the guys go at you and hear you scream. I will have your ear cut off and your tongue ripped out. You will be taken home in the night and left at your front door." She also praised serial killer Charles Manson and called Norwegian mass murderer Anders Breivik a legend. In 2010, Ms. Gray's family labeled Early's minimum 14-year prison term a joke and said she should have been sent behind bars for at least 30 years. Speaking outside court at the time after Early's sentencing, Ms. Gray's daughter Anne-Marie McLeod told the BBC, 14 years, it's nothing. It's shocking, it really I see hope she never gets out. She doesn't deserve it. There's no justice today.